Okay, part of the advantage of using a slingshot crossbow is if you set it up correctly, you drastically reduce the sound of the bow. So this right here, right now, when you shoot it, it slaps the back of this. So I'm trying to establish something where I can put these slingshots on and the band, the string stays tight with the arrow tray, comes out here and just simply bypasses all this, comes out here and slings the arrow, and the bands just come back and they don't strike anything. And I think that will greatly reduce the sound. So I'm trying to achieve a stealth shot. Now, part of the sound may be in this latch where the trigger assembly's at, and when you fire it, that slap part of that sound might be a knock in here, and I can't do anything about that. But I am trying to take the slap out where this hits the front of this, because these slam into that at 100 miles an hour and create a slap. So I'm going to try to get it to where the bands simply pass over top of this and then spring back. So anyway, that's the thought process. So I'm going to put the slingshots on the front of it, standing straight up, and hopefully there's enough gap there where it will miss the wood riser. So, all right, so I'm just taking these off. And I'm going to figure out how to gap them and orient them on that. And then I'll have to figure out how to put a stirrup and a cocking stirrup and the quiver on that piece of wood. Okay, so I cut that at an angle. That way they are facing toward the back, toward the latch, so there's more consistent tension on the bands on both sides. And also it looks like it's going to keep the string over top the rail instead of coming all the way off the rail. All right, let's screw these on. Okay, starting to look like something. So I want the bands to come over top of this. I want there to be a little bit of string tension here. You don't want this under a lot of tension because it'll go boing, which defeats the whole purpose of, you want us to have a little bit of slack, and it'll defeat the whole purpose of trying to quieten it down, because you'll get a boing like a guitar sound if you have it under too much tension. This way it just comes to rest and stops. So I'm going to have to cinch these down with a second screw and figure out how to do that. And then we're ready to test fire. Okay. So I've squared this up. Got just a little downward tension on that. I may have to shorten that band right there because that may slap the wood. But I'm thinking it's going to come across, come a little bit forward. It may even catch on the front of that. But as long as the arrow's out of there, it keeps that level on the tray. Put a second screw in here, cinch these down, and these are pretty long screws. I think they're 2.5, 2 3/4. And see if we can cock this and make a shot. So the problem I ran into, my string's too short. I tried to cock it, and I'm afraid to put too much pressure on it, it's going to break the band. So I'm going to lengthen my string. These bands are under some serious tension. It's not sighted in for this. I'm going to go shoot the straw bale though. Listen to the sound. It quieted it up some. I don't know if it's worth it though. May just go back and put it on the other so I don't have to fool with everything else. That was still pretty loud. All right, this is a 440 grain arrow. Here we go. Now. Well, it was worth an attempt. It's still loud and it ain't shooting very fast. So we'll go back with our other setup. I think I'm losing a lot right here and I can't get it cocked. So we'll go back to that other string. I didn't throw it away. And we'll go back to our other. It's still loud. And I've lost about 10 feet per second. So anyway, worth the try. We're back to the original. So what we get out of this. 137. That's about 90 miles an hour. We'll take it. Okay, I got to re-sight it in because I changed it and tied the string back on it. This is with the bludgeon tip. I got to sight it in for broadhead in a minute. All right, that just hit about an inch left. Let's shoot the broadhead. All right, broadhead, 15 yards. Dead left and right. I may not be quite 15 yards. Let me step it off. 15 yards. Dead center. Nighty night. There you go.